You were done. You had had enough of his bullshit. You had enough of his whining and complaining. Not only were you tired, but you felt pitiful for yourself and for him. You were packing your bags when his car pulled up. You weren't scared of him physically hurting you, but mentally manipulating you to stay as he did so many other times before. You were just a toy to him, something to take his mind off the pain he went through on a daily basis. He had such a way of making you feel guilty for everything. You didn't think you could face him. Hesitant, you zipped up your suitcase, pulling it to the floor and pulling the handle up. You opened the bedroom door, taking a breath before treading down the hallway. It was like a wave of realization came over him 3 seconds into making eye contact with you. He dropped the brown paper bag and walked over to you. You stepped away, a defiant look plastered on your face. He reached for your hand, but before he could seize it, you snatched it away, and he winced. You hated when he did this because you knew he did it on purpose. It was one of his many tactics, but this time you would not be swayed. "Please move," you asked, your voice almost a whisper. He did not move. Instead, he looked into your eyes, trying to find some sort of connection with you there. But he could try all he wanted. You knew all he would see was the lack of remorse. "Ryan," he pleaded. You kept staring straight, refusing to look him in the eyes ever again. No. You were shocked at the dryness of your throat. It felt like you had swallowed a goat when you spoke. Regardless, you were determined to make it out this time, because this time he hadn't just cheated on you with a random guy or girl. He hadn't just brought them home and cuddled with them in your shared bedroom, shared bed. This time, it was much more personal, but you were more hurt by your best friend's actions rather than his. He was just a boyfriend, and as sad as it may seem, you had expected this from him. What you did not expect was from them. How could they? The betrayal you felt was too deep for him or them to understand. You would not be forgiving them, ever. As for him, well, you gave up on trying to understand his actions and the reasons for them a long time ago. You had nothing else you wanted to say to either of them. "Move." You sucked up the quiver that wanted to escape your throat and shoved it back down. "Ryan." You could not stand the sound of how scared he sounded, like a lost puppy, like a bunny rabbit with big floppy ears. "No," you told yourself, "he will not own me forever." "I said, move," you stated, emphasizing the word move, because it was all you could do to keep yourself from breaking down. "Just listen to me, please. Just let me explain. Look, I brought back a few things from the shop. We can make dinner together this time, please." He was so fucking good at it, playing victim, acting as if you were the one in the wrong. He made you so angry, but at the same time, his words caged your heart in place. Your foot moved back. You were losing ground. However, you still refused to look into his eyes, knowing that if you did, all would be lost and you would be stuck on this endless loop of torment. "Ryan," he shouted, grabbing your face and forcing your eyes to meet his. You dropped your suitcase handles and collided against the wall, tears already falling down your face. "No, no, no, no." You were shaking your head, repeating it over and over again in soft sobs. Your hands were covering your face, and your words matched with soft sobs. "Yes." He kneeled down and pulled your hands from your face. His head was bobbing up and down, but the sobs just kept coming, and your chest just kept heaving up and down, shuddering every time you took shuddering every time you inhaled or exhaled. Please, you moaned at him. Please. It was absolute agony for you. Here, come sit on the couch. I'll put your things back for you. He helped you to your feet and began walking you toward the common room. You were halfway to the couch when the front door burst open. The handle was busted like it had been kicked in. The one responsible strode in swiftly. He looked around the area, and then his eyes landed on you. Blonde hair swayed back and forth as he rushed forward and threw your boyfriend off of you. Your sobs had stopped momentarily, shock filling your body instead of sorrow. But just as soon as it had stopped, it started back up. Manjiro took one more look at you and advanced on your boyfriend. No, X, you thought, with a sense of calmness. Mikey was here. It would all be fine now. He was here. He would save you from this creature. Thank you, you wanted to say. Thank you for not abandoning me too. There were a lot of thuds and cries for help. A minute later, Manjiro was picking you up, princess style. Your eyes were a blurry mess. You rubbed them, and when you opened them again, it was like a dream. You saw a vast ocean-like sky. It was clear and so blue. You hadn't seen something so gorgeous in years. Mikey didn't even glance at you. He kept his stride quick. He made the few paces left to his car, set you in the passenger seat, and kissed your forehead. The action startled you. I'll be right back, he mumbled. Just as he was about to get up to leave, you gripped his sleeve between your thumb and forefinger. He hesitated, looked down, and frowned. I won't be long, I promise. You caught your breath in your throat, hiccuped, and said, well, tried to say, he's. Mikey shook his head, held up his hand, and stated, don't. A look similar to one your ex would have used to keep you in that same forsaken house passed over his features. There was one defined difference, though. It was as clear as day to you. It was real. Mikey meant what he was saying. He meant everything. His body language was not calculated like that you were so used to. It was all raw, all real. You should get some rest. The words were enough to send you over the edge again. You burst out into tears. You let go of his dark blue v-neck, but just as soon as you did, he engulfed you in a hug. He won't hurt you again, he said calmly. Then, as if a whole different person was speaking, I won't let him. His voice could have sliced through trees with ease, and that was just half of it. Darkness fluoresced over his eyes as you buried your face into the crook of his neck. He glared at the house, holding you tightly.